sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 or 5 before that. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, caught it to 26. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 84 yards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
They'll run on first down. Parks. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
47-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Out of the gun, they hand to Foster. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Here now a 3rd down and 8. Looking to throw. Garcia. That is incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And leading them out there, their 6'5" cornerback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on some few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off the option, here's Williams. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
At their 49-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. He finds his man, Pollard. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard.
When you look at this defense, this unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early, chip away at their timing.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
That's another first down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
At the 23-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
The 6-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up second.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That's a gain of 3.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first.
That's good.
Give him 2 on the play there. And now they'll be set up with a 1st and goal. Williams is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
It looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on 1st and goal, and they sent that play backwards.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And this is not going to do it as he stops at the 2-yard line. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Williams. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football, but on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
And his kick is right there. It's good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's putting together a very strong first half of the season. Currently the NFL's leader in touchdown passes. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. The last series for a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. They keep it in the hands of Foster. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
39-yard line.
2nd down and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
They'll try the left side. It's Parks. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They run up the middle with Foster. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Clock running here. Under a minute to go now in the 1st quarter of a 3-0 game. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Well, you look at this defense. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter down, it's our home team with possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Off the play fake. Garcia. Touchdown! It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys have taken the lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The visitors' offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And he's made his presence felt in the passing game throughout the season. You look at the NFL's leader in receiving yards by a running back. His name right there at the top. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board. And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Leonard.
Complete.
2nd down and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
That's good.
41 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And down to the 36-yard line here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
On the pickup, brings up 2nd and 2.
On the counter, here's Williams. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
On 1st down, Chambers. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 12-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The offense on third down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Well, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And for the second time this half, on comes the field goal unit here. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep. They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Garcia. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 7.
They'll go again with Foster. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And a key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. I go to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Williams. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Looking downfield for Pollard. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try the left side. It's Chambers. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now Williams running left. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Leonard. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5. And they bring their punter out there now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And now this offense comes back out onto the field as we eat closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure...
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him. Otherwise, you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now a 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Looking to throw. Garcia. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Clayton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They'll run on 1st down. Parks. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line.
Going up the middle, Foster. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Operating from the gun, Garcia. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Oh, looked like a touchdown, but not to be, and now it's 4th down. Here's Foster on 4th. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. On 1st, they stick with Foster. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now Garcia to throw. A final shot before break. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. So a tight one so far, 1-point game at the break as we check in with Scott Hansen in our halftime report. Scott.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in our thankfully dry studios in Orlando. That's obviously not the case at the stadium, where the rain continues to play a factor in this game. Who will take better advantage of it in the second half? To find out the answer, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you. The rain, maybe not quite as heavy as it was earlier, but still coming down pretty good as we prepare for the second half. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. As we check out the league leaders in passing yards, you can see he's right up there among the best in the NFL at this point in the season. Looking downfield for Pollard. And he's got it inside the 10. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Second and goal at the 2-yard line.
He's going to try and take off with it. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
It's now third and goal.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Here we go with Williams. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Williams can't punch it in on 4th and goal. And the ball will go over on the goal line stand. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play. Yeah. But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the third quarter. Garcia throwing to start the drive. The defense rising to the challenge and setting it back on the sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They'll hand off to Foster. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
That's exactly what they were aiming for defensively. A huge early play that cuts off any opposing momentum at the knees. As soon as that snap was made, they were flying to the ball and through the line. Great call from the coaching staff and even better execution.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On the option to give to Williams here. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. They'll set up a throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Here's 3rd and 6.
A gain of 14 yards. Brings up third down.
Now back to throw. This one swung out to Williams. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Off the option, here's Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup.
They run it again with Williams. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 89 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's third down.
And that is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They come up short here on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Oh, what a juke into space. And touchdown. A big play there. 44 yards. As his guys are able to regain the lead. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
Kevin Stefanski going to leave the offense out to go for 2.
Offense will line up for a 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
First and 10.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Chambers. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll go with the keeper. And he's going to be touched down right at the line of scrimmage.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. This 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Now a handoff up the middle. Chambers. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Up the middle they go. It's Chambers. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2.
On 3rd down, it's Chambers. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And this one is right through. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. A first down carry for Foster. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up
2nd and 5. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Garcia now from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll He'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Operating from the gun, Garcia. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
37-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Just because you've got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
And he comes back with one complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Back to throw again. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
On the counter, it's Foster. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Garcia. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the 1st down. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Prior to that, they were 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions in this ballgame. Now 3 for 3.
And you've got to figure their luck's got to run out at some point, doesn't it? I will just tell you from a defense's point of view, someone has to step forward on 4th down and make a play himself because they're just letting it happen to him right now.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Garcia. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. As his guys are able to extend their lead.
So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now a conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Now the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back.
And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Result is a first down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Chambers showing off the quick feet that time and getting forward for a pickup of 3 yards.
Second down and 6 now.
Second and 6.
They run the counter. Shelby looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And this offense on third down today, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Chambers. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Up the middle they go. It's Chambers.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Chambers. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Chambers.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
It's 3rd and 7.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Hey, we can push ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
And here now the offense heading back out there.
And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the 4th quarter.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Foster. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They keep it in the hands of Foster. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
And he's going to use his legs here.
Taking it right down Broadway. Inside the 10. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try and punch it in with Foster. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
They'll try and throw for him. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create...
Now a hit and a loose football. Now comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here.
This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home.
And he's got Booker. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted.
And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the home team here, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.